That was rather weird. Well, that was. Anyway, you are here for another, well, meandering. Not like we're going to do very much, we're just going to talk crap at you for a while.
Yep.
In the true fashion of the old oil house. A little later, because unfortunately, not only do we have a man down, but we also had a broken man.
Yes.
But do not worry. We had the technology. We could rebuild him. That's right. Dark Ages is now the £6.53 man.
No. I can see things a bit closer now. Yes, the rumours of my demise were greatly exaggerated. I just had a bad back.
But you're better now.
Oh, yes.
As per usual, you have your steadfast host, Chaos Envy, and...
It's me, it's Stuart Dark Ages.
With his new improved spine.
I wouldn't say that.
Okay, I had to go to a scrapyard for some of the parts, but come on, man, I had 653 to work with. It's amazing how that works.
Yeah, it makes that sound every time I go to sit straight.
That must be quite cool at work.
It's not, because nobody's in the office to hear it half the time.
Oh. Do they just get a little scared when they are in the office?
Yeah. I'm just like, what the fuck? Your phone should be off. I was like, it is off, it's my back.
Oh well. So, should we get right to the nitty gritty?
Yes.
What did you get that you did not have last when we spoke in the nether regions of time?
Back pain.
Okay. Wasn't expecting that.
Neither was I, but it still had arrived. Long story short, biking to work. Felt something click, started to hurt a little, got to work and went, oh! Spent 2 days in bed. Yeah.
Bounce to wang.
If only. Yeah, 2 days in bed, back pain, a lot of DP, a lot of paracetamol, a lot of ibuprofen.
I feel for you.
It was far from fun.
Believe me, I know back pain.
Yeah, it's, anybody who's suffered from back pain or suffers from back pain will know exactly how I was feeling, because it sucks.
This is very true.
So on a brighter side, on an actual, I have things that I didn't have last time we spoke, kind of kick. You better get ready for this because there's a few today.
Okay, I'll just get my pillow.
It's not going to be that long. Or is it? From the most awesome girlfriend in the world. That's her official tagline.
Okay.
Now. It's on her cards and everything. I got a buttload of Twinkies. A buttload of mini Hershey bars. I got a Cybertron animated Ironhide.
Ooh.
I got a animated Rodimus.
Ooh.
And I got a Skull Grin from Generations.
Nice.
I'm a happy bunny. And then just today, literally arrived at work for me today, I got a package from a certain King Grimmy.
Ooh.
Who, well, I don't know if he blames me, but apparently I talked him into selling his power core combiners. So, I don't know which order to go in because they're both kind of awesome. Tell you what, I'll go in this order. I got a smolder.
Das ist verboten!
Now my shelf will be neat and tidy. Because I have my own smolder. Just as well I gave Adams back eventually. And then I have what is possibly, well, in this single-minded angry man's opinion, possibly the best power core combiner figure I've ever seen. I've got Heavy Tread.
Is that because he's got treads and he's heavy?
Possibly. But he is just freaking awesome. He does reek of Guzzle from Last Stand of the Wreckers because he's a little tank.
Mm.
But he's fairly broad. He looks fairly brawny and he's got a barrel over his head. I'm surprised somebody hasn't already repainted him into it. But he is freaking awesome.
He does look quite cool.
Mm. Only problem I have is he didn't send it with instructions, so I don't know if I'm transforming him right. I have to do some. I have to check on some pictures. And on a side note, the Commander head. Check that out.
Nice.
It's freaking awesome. I can go so far as to say I think it's possibly one of the best Commander heads I've seen on a power cord combiner. Basically, if you see this dude, get him bought. Because he's immense. And it's like the list never ends. And this is the funny thing is, this is only the last couple of days. If I recorded it last week, I'm like, I ain't got nothing. No, I ain't got nothing.
You've just had a good week.
A good couple of days. Yet again from King Grimmy, I got a Cobra Bazooka Trooper. Cobra! I got a Cobra Python Patrol Officer. Cobra! I told you about speaking with your mouth full. And I got a Cobra Trooper who looks a bit like Flint. Yo, Joe!
Cobra!
Which is kind of cool because he comes with all of his gear and he comes with a dismembered head. So you can swap the head out. Hang on. You can't see it because I've been opening it up. Oh no, there you go. So he comes with a head, so you can swap the head.
Nice.
But to me, it just looks like he's decapitated a Cobra Trooper to steal his uniform. The war got a bit too much for Flint, so he had to chop his head off.
That's awesome. Flint just becomes a psycho and starts killing his way through Cobra.
Wearing their uniforms. Give me your pants!
All these poor Cobra Troopers going, no, kill me, just don't rape me!
He got knocked back one too many times by Lady J and just went mental and started cutting people's faces off and carrying their heads around. He's Patrick Bateman. Where's Flint going? Why is he going towards those Cobra Troopers? He said something about returning videotapes. As for why I've got a G.I. Joe and my Cobra stuff, A, he's in a Cobra uniform because it's the disguise Flint. B, his base is actually a Cobra base with his name on it.
Nice.
And I like the idea of getting a bunch of bog standard Cobra Troopers and then putting him in the middle and acting as if nothing's weird. Why is he not got a helmet on? Why has he got a beret? Why is he yelling "Yo Joe"? I don't know. He keeps asking me for my pants though.
It's alright, that's just Flint. He's a bit of a clown, that one.
Oh, he's a bit of a joker. So I'd just like to say a big thanks to King Grimmy for these. They're awesome. That I did realise, and as I said to you, by getting those free Cobra figures, I have 3 sets of the same legs, 3 sets of the same body, 2 sets of the same arms, and 2 sets of the same head.
That's just weird.
But I don't care because one dude comes with a frickin' bazooka.
You can't say no to a bazooka.
You can't. You really can't. And on a side note, curse you, Logan Blaze. You got his snow serpent before I could.
Curse you, Logan Blaze.
Curse you to the deepest pits of hell, Logan Blaze. Oh, and then finally today I got a little package with a special note on. I got a Minicom from Tricky which isn't broken.
Oh!
Thanks, Tricky. Come on, you expect me to be nice now? Now I have the toy?
Dude, that's just wrong. You shouldn't be doing that with a Minicom.
What, trying to power link him?
Isn't that what you call it?
Yeah. He doesn't want a power link. Oh, that's poops.
You're trying to ram a tank up his backside.
Trying to make him a duocon. Stop it. Anyway, move on before I do something I shouldn't with this guy.
Patrick Waffle?
Yeah. See if he fits on small.
Well...
Oh no, the Minicom part is too small. It's too big. Oh no! Oh yeah, that's cruising in style, that is. Not only do you have a pink pimp car. See, Mr. Plane, too tight. Mr. Purple Car, too loose. Mold degradation, it's a fickle monster.
Dear God. Well, for me, I recently celebrated a birthday.
How old are you now, Uncle Rob?
Hmm?
How old are you now, Uncle Rob?
I'm 29.
Ooh.
I'm 52 weeks.
Just say it properly.
I'm 30.
Yeah, just like me.
It doesn't bother me. It really doesn't.
It'll hit me at some point. I'll just go, oh my God, I'm 30!
I don't know. Because to be honest, I still feel the same way I did 10 years ago.
I don't. This back has attested to that.
Yeah, I'm used to that, so...
True.
3 spinal surgeries later!
Ooh.
But yeah, I got some rather weird and wonderful things.
A couple of which I am slightly jealous of.
I got some nice beads for my bracelet, which is quite weird.
Ah, I heard you rattling a bit more than usual.
Yeah. I got some just sort of nice random beads that people have given me. And some people actually got the idea. I have a hand-carved wooden one from my friend Steve.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a snake, one of those snake eating itself things. I can't remember the official name for it.
You know what I'm going to say. Two snakes like these.
Just waiting for that.
Nothing if not predictable at times.
Got a skull which a friend of mine had bought for herself, and then she thought, that's cool, I'll buy Rob one. And then
cool.
she forgot to bring it out, so she actually gave me the one that was on her
Oh, that's even
bracelet.
cooler.
So it was kind of like, yeah, that's kind of nice.
Did you demand that you then go home and smash that one so yours would be unique?
No. And then I got one off Matt, which was kind of bizarre. He sent me a pizza message, and it was a picture of a brute spiker from the McFarlane Halo figures, with the tagline of, to remind you of all the times I melee kicked your ass. Ever the sentimentalist.
True.
So, yeah, I got Deadpool's first run in graphic novel form.
Hooray!
Which is quite mental.
Or the trade paperback, as some people would prefer to call it.
Which is very, very good. I'm quite enjoying that.
So you should.
I got an Athran, Zala and Kigali statue, which you were drooling
Awesome.
over.
I'll fully admit that, Matt. Those are awesome.
I just can't describe how nicely crafted they are.
The thing that gets me is Kigali's skirt is the fact that they've actually got the fabric and then they've got the clear plastic on the bottom to make it that bit more see-through. And them eyes is really well painted.
Yeah.
Kudos to the painter on that one.
The eyes on both Kigali and Athran are just so nice. It is just unreal.
And Athran's so dreamy.
He's not dreamy. He is just chocked full of awesomeness. If him and Drift were ever to meet, there would be another big bang.
That's the other thing I got. I knew there was something. I got the Drift trade paperback.
Nice.
You know what? I don't see why so many people are down on that series. I think it's read.
It's not bad.
It's not
bad
great,
read, but
it's not like it's the last stand of the record, but it's read.
It's alright. It's alright for a laugh.
Oh.
What else did I get? Oh yeah, I used my my money that I got for my birthday to get me the... Oh, I can't remember the name of it now. Midsummer Night's Dream graphic novel,
Yes.
done by Cat Nicholson and Jason Cardy. Very, very good. So pretty.
Is it really? Oh.
So pretty. I had to get it in, obviously, original Shakespeare.
Good lad.
Because, well, you know, they didn't have the print I wanted. You know, all they had was plain text and quick read. So it was, you know, the only thing that would have made it any better was if they had it in original Klingon. Because you've not read Shakespeare until you've read it in original Klingon. Yeah, and apart from my Sharingan necklace, I got off Mr. Lajauta. I think that's about it.
There is one thing I did neglect to mention for me.
Another?
Yes. Well, I haven't really got it as such because it's still sat in America.
Okay.
I managed to find on Amazon in the States to save on packaging. I basically sent it to the lovely Slick. Cybertron Mode Ratchet from Animated for the bargain price of $10, including postage.
Nice.
Yeah. So so that's sitting in the States waiting for me.
Nice.
So it'll probably come over with the next care package as I'm doing it.
I was planning to spend some of my birthday money on getting me a Justice and a Freedom model. Yeah, you know that nice store me and Adam found that had on eBay that had them for like a tenner for the 1/100th scale ones. Yeah, that store no longer exists.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was gutted because they're like 25 quid.
Speak to me after the show. I might be able to direct you somewhere. Somewhere I highly recommend.
Have you seen what else is coming out? You might not have, because I know you're not as mad on Gundam as I am at the minute.
Go on then.
Perfect grade.
Mm-hmm.
Freedom. 1/60th scale. Big dude!
There is but one thing I can say to that. Neat and tidy!
200.
I can't but compete with one other thing.
It's got light up wings. It's got light up eyes. You know the Strike Freedom from the End of Destiny. It's that one. So it's got the light up gold hands. It's just like ah!
Your taunt, Messiah.
It's even got clear plastic, so you can actually have the
That's nice.
the thingy bits coming out firing.
Ah, it's very
Oh!
nice. I can but counter with one thing. And since we don't have like a G.I. Joe news section, I can just say about it here. Sideshow do a range of like premium format 12-inch figures.
Yeah.
Not only are they doing a Viper, which looks freaking immense. We're talking like the old school one, the reflective helmet, the body armour and the big gun. They're doing a Cobra Commander. He looks so awesome.
Nice.
Being slick and drooling over it. That's the true side of how good a couple we are. We're both drooling over it, going, it's
Nice.
pretty. Yeah, they told me so.
I can imagine.
Not as much as Jungle Bats do. Bring me Jungle Bats. Bring them to me.
So now that we've drooled over the things we
And
have
ranted and raved about the things we've got.
yeah.
Heavy Dread's awesome.
Would you like to do some news?
Ooh, well, I would like to do some news.
It'd be nice if there was some news.
Yeah, that's the problem. I'm not really going to report on the news this week because as of recording, there is cold, to put it plainly. It's all just toy images and Dark of the Moon stuff. And you know me, I'm avoiding Dark of the Moon related film stuff because I don't want to spoil it and I'm not overly interested. The only thing maybe worth mentioning is...
Well, if you're going to mention it, do you want to play the news music?
It's not really news. It's more of a big up for somebody who did me a favour.
Okay, we'll go for that then.
Kapow Toys / King Grimmy have done a review of Dark of the Moon Barricade.
Ooh.
I was like, well, I'm thinking about getting it because I like Barricade. Saw that and went, yeah, I better get that. So I'm going to... Well, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. There's your news flash this week. Dark Aegis is officially going to buy one Dark of the Moon figure. Yep. One whole Dark of the Moon figure.
Disgusting.
Who knows? Something else might jump out at me at the time, as time goes on. But nah, it's just my boy Barricade at the moment.
Terrible.
And because there's no news, there's no Anchorman quote.
Yeah, go on. You can probably squeeze one in.
Well, I'll do a Brian Fantana one. Yeah, but you've got to be ready for this because it's a bit scary.
Okay.
Panda Watch! Ching Ling is in there, getting ready to give birth and... Get out of here, jerk panda!
I'm scared.
Said we can't let you in there. That animal will literally rip your head off. There we go. That's what little news there is. The panda's going to rip my head off.
Wow. That's harsh, dude.
That's the way of the world. It's nature.
Cute up your seams.
Is it just me? Did you hear that?
No, I'm deaf from all the numerous blows to the head by squirrels.
I swear I keep hearing something really weird.
Fair dues. What is next, Uncle Rob, who has taken over as presenter and is doing an alright job until Adam gets back and then gets booted back to third man?
Well, I think it's about time we close the underrated mech for February.
Ugh. I hate you all.
Considering it's March. And yes, we have been being a bit lax with this, but hey, we haven't got the the daddy man here to tell us what to do.
Ain't no boss monkey, let's just skive.
Yep. So yeah, we had the three underrated mechs. We had the Death Egg from the Sonic 2, was it? The end of Sonic 2? Dr. Robotnik's thing. We had Megas XLR, the mech from the future with a car attached to the top. And we had the YF-19 from Macross Plus, the sexiest thing ever to come out of the Macross universe. So, you're all Philistines.
You're all heathens.
Because we went through the forums on Moonbase 2, where we have a section.
Mm-hmm.
The Nerdsphere, where we have a section. And, of course, our own forums, where we have 1 or 2 sections.
Mm-hmm.
And we found out that, collating all those, you're all a bunch of bastards.
You're all a bunch of 16-bit loving heathens. Sonic 2 is dead and gone, it will never come back! You see what happened? They made Sonic 4!
The Death Egg got 7 votes. Megas got 3, as did the YF-19.
Because you're all heathens.
That's terrible. It really is.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go home and I'm going to watch Megas, where he kicks the daylights out of an alien who's possessed a giant Sonic inflatable, and feel better about myself.
Okay. So yeah, we'll probably throw another one out next week.
But really, we need 3 presenters for that.
Yeah, we'll try and find someone else.
Yeah. We'll tempt somebody in with a promise of fame and fortune.
Right. Would you like to do the homebrew from last week?
Okay. What was the homebrew from last week? I don't remember.
The homebrew from last week was who, as part of the Old Oil House, do you want to see in an animated Old Oil House movie?
Oh, of course.
And what's the premise? So I did a lovely little HHDD VVDD BVD cover.
I'm glad, because I needed something for that player.
Yeah. Which, starred myself, Chaos Envy, Grufflock, and Dark Ages. Also introduced Tricky as the bartender, and Mrs. Robinmus as the buxom wench.
Of which you got the okay for before you start emailing in and complaining about it.
Yep. I will not be killed as of yet.
Just.
Would you like to read the premise for it?
Okay. Do I have to do this in like a funny movie voice?
Yes.
After a drunken night out, a mute ninja, Chaos Envy, is wrongly barred from the Old Oil House for drunken disorderly behaviour. Now he must try and get back to retrieve the shuriken that was given to him by his dying second cousin. But to get back in, he must face the evil oil... Can't speak the words! Must face the evil oil house commander, Grufflock, and his fiendish Stew Pentor. That's me. This explosive tale of family, energex, and buxom barmaids will engross the whole family. Yes, I'm sure that's what kids want to see. Beautifully animated by the monkeys at the O2H Productions, with a script by one of the Junkophile top writers, brought to you in stunning Uber HD on HHDDVDD. I just love the tagline though. 'Cause he's mute, he lets his fist do the talking. Which is classic. Real classic. It's going to go straight to DVD, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, next one's up from Tricky. And his story goes as follows. Are we sitting comfortably, children?
Yes, please start.
Yes, I am your father. Though apparently I'm also Andy's.
Huh.
Go figure.
My brother's called Andy.
Not that Andy.
Oh.
As in Millman. You know Andy.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, I'm going to tell a story, so shut up, kids.
Sorry.
Once upon a time, there lived a prince. That's it, there you go, there's his story. I'm joking. His father's kingdom was known locally as the Nerdsphere, and ruled wisely by the one known only as Timey. Sure I know that fella. One day, whilst walking through the woods, the prince stumbled upon a house he'd never seen before. This was the home of 3 podcasts.
Ooh.
A mommy podcast, run by 2 pretty ladies. What? A daddy podcast, operated by an Englishman and an Irishman, but no Scotsman.
Joke there somewhere.
and a baby podcast emanating from Free Men of the North. I think that's us. Intrigued, the prince listened to the Mummy podcast, but found it a little long. He then listened to the Daddy podcast, but found it a little serious. Really? Finally, he listened to the Baby podcast and found it just right.
We like that.
He took this podcast to the wise and just Tiny, who brought it to the world, and everyone lived happily ever after.
Yay!
Oh, it's a nice little story. He's got a note at the end of it that goes, this was initially going to be very long, featuring each podcast host as an individual fairy tale character, but I can't make it work properly, so I'm leaving it as the Prince and the Free podcasts.
Oh,
That's kind of cool.
Nice.
Okay, let's see if I can see the next one. Okay, the next one's from a man, Megas Tater, who obviously has a fine taste in mechs, but didn't vote for it, I see. You know me, I'll let these things get to me.
You do.
In the depths of space lies a magical rock. It's crack. Within this rock there are 3 medallions. Ooh. These prized possessions of limitless power are searched by for the maniacal Grufflock, a space pirate with a robotic arm, leg, parrot and tiger.
That's awesome.
Hang on. Does that mean he has a robotic parrot and tiger?
I hope so.
Or is there some sort of like combined animal that's a parrot and a tiger? Oh, that's awesome.
A tiger.
a tiger. A parger.
A parger.
A parger. That sounds like a pirate thing. Anyway, I'm going to tell a story. During a space battle with another space pirate named Dreadwind Joe. Should that be Dreadwind Glenn? The Rock. Okay, I'd like to think of that as Dwayne Johnson. The Rock is accidentally fired to Earth. I just like the idea of Dwayne Johnson going forward going, can you smell? As he goes in.
Yeah.
There it is found by 2 slackers, Stu and Rob. And they are magically turned into the superpowered heroes Dark Ages and Chaos Envy. They are also able to swap their powers, creating Dark Envy and Chaos Ages. I kind of like that. I wonder if he's done... I kind of like Kamen Rider Double. That's awesome. They must battle the POD, Pirates of the Dominion. Woo. And the evil Epoch Emperor, a Lord of Time, to keep the Earth safe.
I like that one.
I kind of like that one. Well done, Megas. Oh, this is from my boy Northammer. Let's see what he's put. Okay, scroll. Ooh! I'm already liking this. After an evil wizard and his army destroy the village of 3 Vikings, Gruff, Aegis and Chaos, and make the 3 of them turn a wheel for no reason for over 20 years, where they eat the other children turning the wheel. The film known as The Lost Vikings consists of being 3 hours long, and pretty much following the events of Conan. My highlight is the 3 just shouting "Crom" at each other for 18 minutes.
Crom!
Crom, where is the wizard who killed my mother?
Crom!
Crom! That one's awesome, Northammer. You win. You win the prize of a shiny penny.
2 snakes.
2 like these.
Like these.
We never said that. He never said 2 snakes like these.
I know, but we'd have to.
I know.
To everyone.
2 snakes. Facing each other.
Like this.
And that's all the homebrew. Aww.
That was all the homebrew.
That was all of the homebrew. I'm going to look at the picture again. From a DVD.
You do realise that when I was doing that, I've got the soundboard on my phone with...
How many times did you have to play it?
I got it to 10, and I still couldn't figure it out, so I actually had to go and find the PSA where it actually comes up with the letter. I was just like, ah!
It's your hedge.
So in the end, I got that and sort of pieced that together, and then I just kind of... I was thinking, what can I do for a logo? So I just got the HD DVD logo and
extended it. Flipped it, made it bigger.
Oh, it was funny. Although, I watched Despicable Me recently.
Any good?
Decidedly average.
Ooh.
It's in no way a bad movie.
But
it's not a good movie.
Oh, no.
Everything just seems to be borrowed from somewhere else.
Ooh, copyright infringement.
Yeah. And but there is a brilliant little thing I noticed when can't remember when it was in the film, but he's playing something. I don't know if it's sort of like the end of the film where they're playing like a music thing or whatever. But it actually says on the player, instead of Blu-ray, it's Gru-ray.
Oh, jeez.
The symbol looks so much better than the Blu-ray symbol. It's fun.
Should we give him a new homebrew?
Not just yet.
Ooh.
Keep him on.
Sounds like he's got a plan, Captain Rob.
I do actually have a plan. First of all, I'll give you the choice. We could either do some grinding of the gears, because we've actually got some gear grindage.
Ooh.
Or we can do the listener questions.
Let's do some gear grindage. I miss grinding gears.
Alright. We'll start with the last man we just heard from. Hey, Mr. Northammer. Matty Collector. I don't need to say anymore. That's what we like. Short and sweet and to the point.
And
especially when we don't have a printer or a laptop and somebody has to write them all out.
Using a pencil. Oh no, is it a pencil or is it a pen?
Pencil.
It is a pencil. See, we got old school today. No printer, just pencil and a bit of paper. You know, you get all these fancy podcasts that sit there on the computers or have laptops. Use a pencil and a bit of paper. Ooh yeah.
But yeah, after some of the stories that Adam has told us about the things he's heard from Matty Collector, yeah, I don't really think you need to say
I think they've got better, but only just. Stuff still sells out in a stupid amount of time. It still sells on for a stupid high price on the secondary market. But yeah, I still want a Hardak.
Really?
Yeah, I fully admit I still want one of them classic Hardak because he looks like he does in the to me anyway. He looks more like he does in the 2000X series.
Okay.
Because they've not gone for the actual outfit is the 2000X look, and I prefer that idea of him being like this uber powerful sorcerer.
Yeah.
Than this dude who's part robotic, which seems funny from me.
Yeah.
And my love of robots, but yeah.
I mean,
anybody want to donate me one would be gratefully appreciated.
I don't think so.
You never know.
Tricky. Tricky states. Smiths are opening a new store on my route to work. I'll have to drive past twice a day. I should just send my bank details to one of those princes who need help getting money out of their country. He'd do less damage to my wallet. The ad's at the end. But yeah.
On a side note, you're fine, mate. With the UK, we get fuck all. Try dealing with an American girlfriend who goes, I've got this guy, do you want this? Yes! I've seen this guy. Yes! I dread the day she goes, I found a lug nut.
It's just a really good job that she never phones you with these things, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because I would actually love to be there on the street as she rings you up going, hi, I've just found it. And she's like, yes! And she's like there bowled over by the sound coming out of her phone.
I found 4 Scourges and they're on discount. Is that a yes? I have to hand the phone to you and go, Rob, say yes. Because I can't make a sentence. I think he wants them. Oh, okay.
No, I'd just like to say now that if you ever ask him a question and he makes that noise, that's his yes, I really want those. It would be much appreciated noise. If he kind of goes, that's a no, I would not like one of those.
I found an overrun. He's got a sticker, it looks like it peels off. Yeah! I'm not allowed to say what he's actually called.
Why?
Because it's spastic. It is. Remember all the controversy?
No, I like the way you said, I'm not allowed to say what he's actually
and
called.
Then
And
said
he just came out and said it.
Well, in fairness, yeah, that's what he was originally called. But yeah, that's how they're solving the solution.
They're putting a sticker
Putting a sticker over the box and the instructions. So they're not even bothering to reprint the instructions or all like that.
Brilliant.
I have this on good authority from somebody I know in the States.
I love that.
Yes.
So yeah, Tricky will probably be buying that place out of minicons.
Do you have minicons? What's a minicon?
Tricky smash! We've actually had Adamus Prime posting again. Not heard much from him in a while.
Because he's...
Do you have a life or something, boy?
How dare you have a life outside of the interwebs?
I think the thing that gets me the most is the fact that while I do have the G1 series on DVD, I do not have any of the others. I would love Robots in Disguise, Armada, Energon, Cybertron, and yes, even Beast Wars to come out in box sets.
Hang on, are you saying that you want the Unicron trilogy more than you want Beast Wars? Get off my forum.
I'm not finished, but I would just stop there because I think they are actually bringing out Beast Wars and a DVD box set.
It's Shout Factory, so it's the States.
Right, it's not going to be
not
coming to the UK.
It's not a UK, so you can either get a region-free player and do it that way, or hope that somebody does it. And I think we're long overdue a Beast Wars release.
Yeah.
There's never been a proper release of it on DVD. We got Beast Machines before we got Beast Wars, which still blows my noggin.
Yeah. It really would be nice to actually get the Beast Wars on DVD.
Definitely.
Yeah. Continuing.
Before I interrupt you again.
Also, I've started to collect the old G1 Marvel comics. And
Good
these
lad.
are great. I would love to collect IDW and Dreamwave bundles, but they are so much and are not out for very long. Now, Dreamwave, probably could be hard to get on.
Yeah, that's going to be tricky getting a hold of them.
Yeah,
because age.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure IDW have reprinted a bunch of stuff from Dreamwave.
have they?
Yes, I'm pretty sure they redid the Armada and Energon stuff.
If they redo the War Within stuff, I'll definitely be picking that up.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure they did the Armada and the Energon ones.
And to be honest, if you've got Last Stand of the Record, you don't really need anything else from IDW.
Well, Drift's okay. Drift's worth picking up.
Yeah,
I got mine for £9 off Amazon.
not bad.
Worth picking up for that.
If they've done the Shun stuff in the trade,
Yes.
because if they've done the Shun stuff, that's worth picking up.
Get the
'cause
Shun.
The Shun stuff was really good. But I mean, personally, I liked All Hail Megatron when I read it in a big bunch together.
I don't think All Hell Megatron is that bad. It's not brilliant.
Yeah.
And part of me can't forgive the whole let's retcon it without saying to anybody we're retconning it and all this stuff doesn't make sense kind of thing. But if you just sort of ignore that fact, it's not a bad read.
Because as I say, when I read it all together, it wasn't too bad. Just whatever you do, don't pick up Bumblebee or the ongoing. Because it'll probably stop you wanting to read Transformers comics.
Though 17 is generating some controversy, but I'll talk to you about that off air because I don't want to spoil it for people.
Okay, fair dues. You should have a conversation. Like civilized type things.
Yeah. Fetch me my pipe.
No, and no.
What?
We all know what you want to do with that pipe.
Smoke it.
That's not what you said last time. So yeah, toy-wise, I have only 1 or 2 issues. Masterpieces and certain reissues are very expensive. This may be due to the fact that they may never be... They may never... No problem now. This may be due to the fact that they will never come out again. But come on, we're not all on 6-figure wages. I do agree with that point. Because I can't afford half the stuff that comes out, and it's not even masterpieces I'm talking about. Also, I think the toys are getting too complex. It can take me up to 20 minutes to change a movie figure, but only a few seconds for a universe/generation/encore figure.
I'm with him on that. Some toys, I looking at them and I'm getting a bit worried.
Yeah, I think with the movie stuff, it's because they're cheating so much in a sense.
It's the very nature of the beast because they've got to try and make it look like 2 things.
Yeah,
they can't sort of work around that engineering. They've got this design that they've done for the films, and they've got to try and work with that.
Yeah, and with the films, it's a CG model where they can take shortcuts. And the design style they've gone for, it breaks down into hundreds and hundreds of tiny pieces. So, you're screwed when it comes to making a toy that you're trying to make money off.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's... I don't know. I mean, as I say, I agree with him on the thing about the prices, because, I understand there's a shed load of work goes into the masterpieces and that, but, I mean, come on. We would like them a little bit cheaper.
Wouldn't we all? But I found a lot of the time with the Hasbro releases that they inevitably do. They don't sell as well, probably because of the price point, and then you do get them cheaper. But apparently not in the case of Grimlock. I've not heard of Grimlock being cheap anyway.
I think that's just because it's Grimlock.
Yeah.
And everyone wants him.
And he's awesome.
But yeah, some reissues do seem to keep a bizarrely high price.
It depends, because the only sort of reissue I've bought in the last few years is the Sea concert, and that was £50.
I suppose it isn't bad.
It was 55, which for that box set is good.
Mind you, you bought it at AA, didn't you? Did you buy it after they'd started marking it down?
No, I bought it. I was like, that was the first thing I bought. Remember, I went in, just went there's Kapow Toys, yoink, this now! Because that was the one thing I was determined to walk away from Auto Assembly with, was that Sea concert. As soon as it was like, ah! So I got it full whack on the first day, and that was 55. And considering that's 5 Scramble City limbs and a body, plus all the gubbins and the nice box, I think that's a damn good price for it.
Yeah, I suppose.
It's when it's like these fancy collector's edition Japanese box ones, they're expensive and like Comic Con exclusive.
Yes.
Blaster Croc's ended up with 50-something quid. And that's with 3 tapes. 3 out of his 4 tapes.
That's horrendous.
But it is a shiny box, and yeah, I'd probably get him the value money. More grindage of gears, please. It can't always be me complaining about stuff.
And I think now I shall throw some questions at you.
No!
As a monkey would throw its own poop.
Throw me some question, monkey poop.
What? first question.
Uh-huh.
He's hugging the show, and he's not even here.
See, I'm sure he just, because he's got admin status, he just deletes all the posts above his, so he's the first one to get answered.
If you are sure you've put a question in, and you think that Tricky has deleted it, so it makes it look like he's got the first question in, let us know on the forums.
Actually, no, tough shit. He's got power, let him abuse it. Don't like it, go to Russia!
Okay, number one. Will we see the later reveal the shield waves in the shops, or will they get subsumed by the dark of the moon? It did post a little bit more than that, but...
Because you're handwriting.
Well, no, yeah, just because I'm writing it all out. I wasn't writing that all, because it wasn't part of the question.
Technical hits this week, ladies and gentlemen. We'll try and get it sorted for next time.
But yeah, do you reckon we'll see them on the shop shelves, or do you think they'll just put all the Dark of the Moon stuff out?
I hope it's going to be a case of where they're running two lines at once. I know Reveal the Shield is starting to show up in more stores. I know, well, this won't make a lot of sense to anybody out of our town, but Little Tesco's has Reveal the Shield. It's only wave one, so it's, Trax, Jazz, Mindwipe. Is it Mindwipe? I can't remember. The blue repaint of Hailstorm. Blue version of Nicole. That still makes me laugh. And Fallback or Outback or whatever.
Are you trying to say Nicole's a 9-foot smurf?
Since when was she 9 foot?
Avatar, 9-foot blue people.
Oh, shut up.
Work with me here, dude.
No. You should hate that film anyway.
Why?
It stole the name. But then that gives you more option to deny the fact that Last Airbender existed.
Yeah.
Ooh, what a twist.
Yeah.
Look at me winning all these Razzies. Ooh, what a twist.
Oh, I loved that. Love the fact it won Razzies.
Film, director, cast,
Really?
eye-gouging 3D. It raked in at the Razzies. Yeah.
It was, compared to the series, it was terrible.
Compared to everything else, it was terrible.
But that's the thing that gets me. The visuals were beautiful. The look of the film. When you looked at the trailers, when you looked at them...
Oh, yeah, we've seen the trailers. They look gorgeous.
When you saw them sort of bending the elements and stuff like that, it was beautiful.
Benders.
It was just the fact that it was terrible.
Oh, what a twist. Didn't see that one coming, though, did you? Did you? You didn't say that it was going to be terrible. Oh, what a twist. Anyway, should we continue with the questions?
Yeah.
It was about will we see revealed. I hope so.
He did state, should he buy them online? Should he wait till AA if he doesn't buy them online? But the point's moot now because I noticed on the new buys section that he now has the ones he was talking about.
He's got Cup and Perceptor, but there's still other ones to get. Get them. Just get them now if you can. Kapow's really good on prices. It's like, I think in relation to what like Tesco's and stuff sell them at, it's a couple of quid more expensive plus postage. But you know what? You're paying that couple of quid extra for peace of mind because you know you're going to get them. You're not sitting there going, "Oh, Tesco's might have it, I'll get 2 quid cheaper." Just pay that 2 quid and just get them there and then. Yeah,
probably a good idea.
I think it's a true sign of how popular those things are that they keep selling out.
And people still, stores still buy in all the movie crap which sits swarming the shelves.
They're not buying it in, they've still got it. That's what I think it is, they've still got it.
But they're gonna do the same with the third movie though. They're gonna have all these shelf warmers and no shelf space for the good stuff. He has a second question.
Don't he always?
Never really watched any manga apart from Akira. Where would you recommend starting? Ghost in the Shell, Death Note, Macross, Sailor Moon. I assume Stu is screaming Kamen Rider about now.
Nope, because it's not an anime.
If so, why? And where to start with that? First of all, just say, it's not manga, it's anime. I got made to feel about this big.
It's a very small size.
When I mentioned it to someone who obviously knew a lot more than I did. So to save you that in the future, if you're talking about the comics, it's manga. If you're talking about the actual animated movies, it's anime.
There you go.
And
Kamen Rider is neither.
Kamen Rider is a live-action Japanese show.
There is a phrase for it. There is a Japanese word for it. And I can't for the life of me remember what it is. But it's like all shows about dudes in suits.
Okay. But if you're gonna start with anime, to be honest, it depends what floats your boat, really. I'd say if you like your big robots, obviously you do because you like Transformers. If you want to try some other big robots, I would suggest any of the Gundam series.
Even the original, Mobile Suit Gundam.
If you're gonna watch the original, watch that first. Because I watched Gundam Seed before I watched the original, and Gundam Seed is just a remake of the original, and because of the luscious animation and quite nice storyline with that one, I'm struggling now with the Mobile Suit Gundam, which in all honesty hasn't aged that well.
See, you say that, but the animation, sure, hasn't aged well, but every game is still Mobile Suit Gundam.
I know.
Every bit of promotional stuff is still Mobile Suit Gundam. It's mental. You couldn't, considering it's done all these spin-offs and all this, it's done all these series. It is still 90% of the time. It's still Mobile Suit Gundam.
Yeah, I understand that. It's
some staying power. You've got to give that respect.
I'll give it respect for starting the whole franchise that I love. But for me, the story and the animation has not aged that well. But as I say, it's that's the one that started it all. So if you want to start with that one, that's good for big robots. Macross, I've never actually watched the Macross stuff. I only watched Macross Plus, which is beautiful. If you can get that, watch that because that's awesome.
You said about Ghost in the Shell. I better throw in my 2 bits on Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah. This
is the same thing I said to everybody else who's saying about I might watch Ghost in the Shell. If you buy the Laughing Man and Individual 11 movies, I will burn your house down. What you need to do is you need to get the 2 movies. You can get the 2.0 release of the original. It's not a massive difference. If you get the Blu-ray, it's got the original on it anyway.
Nice.
Excuse me. Get the 2 movies and look for the standalone complex movie, 2 series and the movie. Just when you watch it, remember that the series has nothing to do with the movie. Same characters, same kind of universe, but it's not even connected.
I think the creator said when he was doing the series, if you like the movie and that, and you go to watch the series, think of it as a parallel universe. It's not a prequel or a sequel. Yeah. It is just a parallel.
Same characters, same, but it's slightly different ring. They have Tachikomas, which is reason enough for me.
Yeah, Tachikomas are awesome.
Yes,
they are fantastic little things.
But yeah, I recommend Standalone Complex Season 1 and Second Gig and the Solid State Society. See, there's the mouthful right there. Yeah. Ghost in the Shell, Standalone Complex, freaking Solid State Society.
Or Gitsax.
Yeah, Gitsax. Wholeheartedly recommend those.
Yeah.
There is a scene in that film where I just sat there going, oh no. No, and when it came out, I was like, oh, hallelujah. For those who have seen it, you can probably guess where it is. It still gets me every time.
Apart from that, I wouldn't particularly watch Sailor Moon if I was you.
I would just for the cliche value, yeah. Oh, little girls in short dresses and evil sorceresses come to get them. No. Fap.
Death Note, I've never watched, but it's supposed to be very good.
I've not watched the anime. I've watched live action. Live action's pretty good, so hopefully the anime will be good as well. Full Metal Alchemist.
Full Metal Alchemist and Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Full Metal Alchemist was the one that was commissioned halfway through the comic, so it branches off and does its own thing, and then you've got Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, which is based on the actual comic in full, so it is quite a bit different. Both very, very good. Full Metal Panic is another big robots one, but it's a bit more tongue-in-cheek comedy. You've got a military maniac who has basically never had a normal life, and he's got to blend in at a Japanese high school trying to protect someone. Very, very good story. Mixes rom-com with big robots quite nicely.
Not makes you see very often.
The second strike was kind of subpar, but worth watching. And then the Full Metal Panic for Mofu was just hilarious and side-splittingly stupid. You just have to watch that for the it's not even a mobile suit that he builds. What would you call it?
I don't know because I haven't seen it.
Have you not seen it?
I've not seen it, remember?
Oh, I'm giving you a copy of that.
I'll add it to the list of stuff I've got to watch. Jeez.
It basically he nicks a fairground suit and upgrades it so it's full of state-of-the-art technology. You will laugh yourself silly. You will not regret watching that. There's too many to mention, really.
Trigun.
Trigun.
Recently finished that. I don't think... I don't want to spoil it, obviously, but I don't think the ending's...
Fantastic.
It's not. But actual build-up and the characters and everything, I love it.
Vicious
Stampede is awesome.
Yeah. I would recommend Vampire Hunter D and Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust. Very good. Street Fighter 2, the animated movie.
Yes.
Street Fighter V, the animated series, is very good. It's a bit more light-hearted, the series, which I quite like. It's not as dark and doom and gloom. And if you want anything more, I'm sure me and Stu can give you a huge list over the forums.
Probably. I think I'm pretty much out of stuff, though.
Because I've still got tons I could say, but we're kind of...
Go to Rob on this one.
We kind of need to answer some other questions. But
didn't he also mention where to start with Kamen Rider?
Yeah, I think you should maybe...
I'm almost certain, I don't know if I maybe seen it, but I'm sure somebody else mentioned about how to get into Kamen Rider.
Yeah.
I'll save it for them then.
Okay.
So I'd like their answer to that question.
So, hope some of that gives you some stuff to watch and you curse us for never being able to have any free time ever again. Or no money in your wallet whatsoever.
We've taken his money, we've taken his free time, and we've taken his mini-cons. Bonus!
Just be thankful we're leaving you with the wife.
You're my wife now! Hello,
so,
Tricky.
Oh, God.
My wife says your toilet is blocked, but I fixed it.
That's scary. Please stop it. You hear Tricky screaming.
It gets worse because I've been doing this for days now because it's been stuck in my head. Mighty Boosh Live starts with a little play called Pie. You've just got one of them coming out as a Russian officer going, "Would you like a pie?" And the other one goes, "No." He just sits there going, "Ow, why you not like my pie?" And that's all I've been wanting to say to people for days. And occasionally just break down going, "I made a pie to say I love you. Why you not like my pie?"
Moving on. To Megastator and his questions. He states, firstly, I've started watching Kamen Rider. You bastards.
Hey, that's not a plural, that's a single. It's me, baby. I got him into it just like I got Adam into it, just like I'm going to try and get you into it.
Okay. So, number one. If Kamen Rider was turned into a Hollywood movie,
Ugh.
who would star and what premise would you use?
Oh, God. Considering there's about 50 gajillion different Kamen Rider.
Well, which one would you like to see get more limelight?
Well, Double, because Double's my favourite series. Or just sod it and just say Skull. I don't think I'd want a Hollywood actor doing it. I think I'd want the same actors back.
Well, what about, if you don't want a proper Hollywood actor, what about the guy from Ninja Assassin? Rain. Because you know he can do all the stunts and the flippy about stuff.
There's a fine range of suit actors already who can do that stuff. I think I'd want... So if it was Double, I'd want the original guys from Double. For Philip and Shodoro. But I would have them having a case. For those who don't know, Double is actually like a detective agency. I'd have them solving a case in the States. And then that would be the where you could put your bigger actors in.
Okay.
And I'd put Ron Perlman in it. On a side note, I've started watching Sons of Anarchy. I've blasted through season 1 and 2 while my back was bad. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Cannot recommend that enough.
I was going to watch that when it was coming out, but I don't know,
Give it a whirl, mate. Give it a whirl. It's a really good series. It'll make you want to join a biker gang. And then you sit there going, maybe I shouldn't. Come on, there's the immortal line of, God, and this is why I beat hookers.
Oh.
Yeah, there's a character on there called Trig. You should really hate him. You should in every way, shape and form. But you just can't.
I think that's the
It's
same
funny.
with Dexter. I've been watching Dexter.
You should hate him because he's a mass murderer,
but it's just...
don't.
It's like there's certain parts of it where you just kind of go, oh, I just want to go give him a hug. And you just kind of catch yourself and go, oh, hold on a sec, he's a mass murderer.
Well, freaking one of the best bits with Trig is he gets picked up by bounty hunters while they're doing this ride, and he's got him in the back of the van. He's giving him all shit. And he's like, "Hang on, what have you guys actually pulled me for? Because I'm clean. Everything's clean." He's like, "Indecent exposure with animals." It's like, I thought they quashed that. No. Oh crap. But yeah, I'd have Ron Perlman. I don't think I'd need many else in it. I don't think it'd be a good idea to bring it over just because I have flashbacks of Masked Rider.
Nah.
Ectophage activate. No, it's a fucking henshin, you douchebag. Next.
And in insectopathic sense. Question 2.
Mm-hmm.
Excited about Godzilla movie yet?
Godzilla movie?
Apparently there's a new Godzilla movie.
I don't know.
Don't actually see that coming out for a while.
No.
Could be a sensitive thing.
Yeah.
Actually, here's an interesting thing.
Go on.
I happen to know, because of some people that I know, that the PS3 exclusive MotorStorm Apocalypse has, even though it's been shipped to stores and that, Sony are actually delaying the release of it because of the events in Japan. They think it's basically the events.
It's bad. It's bad taste.
It's bad taste to release it now. So if anyone's going, why can't I get that game? Why would they? It's because they're. It is in stores and it is in warehouses, but it's just a case of it's not going out on the shelves because they're trying to show a little compassion.
No, that is
which is, I think, quite amazing for a big company.
Yeah, that's a
I
very wise
know they
move.
are based in Japan, but they're a worldwide company.
Oh yeah.
Which still wants to make money. But I think it's very nice for them to actually show that mark of respect.
That is a very good move by them. Very good move. Was there anything else from that one, or was I
No,
next?
that was it.
Who was wanting to know how to get into Kamen Rider? Somebody else asked, I'm sure. Maybe I was just getting mixed up. Right, I better go back and answer Tricky's then,
I'll
because I was
just say
getting
one
mixed up.
thing. If the new Godzilla movie has the cameraman from the original Hollywood Godzilla movie.
Alright, where are you going with this?
If it has that cameraman, because he was awesome, and if it has the French dude in it as well,
Jean Reno.
yeah, then I will be happy. Because those characters in that movie were awesome.
So you just want Jean Reno in everything.
Yeah, he's an awesome cleaner.
Cleaner. Yes. Right, I better...
Considering that Tricky's will never have any time ever to himself.
Yeah, let's tell him how to waste more of his time with Kamen Rider then.
Yeah, go for it.
You've got a few options, because I discovered another site for this the other day. If you want some of the newer stuff, which I would recommend for your starting place, because basically it's going to be easy to get hold of, go to TV Nihon. Just search TV and then Nihon, Nihon. They do torrents and direct downloads of stuff that they've subtitled themselves. They do a very good job on it as well. Do a lot of work on it that's like extra, just to make it easier for you to watch. I'll wholeheartedly recommend you go there. Also, there's a website called Century Kings, which is subbing Kamen Rider Black, which is the precursor to Kamen Rider Black RX, which was Masked Rider. Yeah, that's what they used. which I discovered today as well. They exactly matched the dude's outfit for when he wasn't henching. White leather jacket, white and black striped t-shirt, fingerless white gloves. Copied the outfit.
Huh.
Yeah, but yeah, Century Kings have been subbing the Kamen Rider Black stuff, which I've been downloading and watching. It's alright. It's very 80s. Very 80s special effects. It shows. I'm going to make a suggestion though. If your best bets, I think, would be to have a look at Kamen Rider stuff, see what you like the looks of. Don't even go into the shows itself. Have a look, see what you fancy, and then try and find which series it's from and go from there. All else fails, if you can't quite make your mind up, get Decade. Because Decade covers 10 years, kinda, of Kamen Rider. It's all a little different. Some of it's like, well, here's Kiva, but it's not Kiva from the show. But it gives you an idea of the villains from Kiva and the world of Kiva and the look of Kamen Rider Kiva himself. Which is kind of cool, but the series isn't great. Or just go mental and go straight to Double, which I'm going to do with Rob. It's a good series. Or just jump on the bandwagon at the moment and go with O's. O's is a really good series, which is getting really good. It's starting to mature and it's starting to get really good, and I can't wait. I'm literally chomping at the bit for the next episode, unfortunately, because of events. It's being delayed. On a side note, Kamen Rider O's has its own Iron Man as well, in Kamen Rider Birth.
Nice.
Internal helmet shots that are just basically just going, look, we watched Iron Man, we thought this idea was awesome, let's do it.
Nice.
Oh yes. But yeah, go to those sites, all those films, give me a DM and I'll give you some links. And before you know it, you'll be yelling henshin with a belt round your waist. As we all chant, one of us, one of us.
Okay, so North Hammer says, and I'm watching Primes. What other shows would benefit from expensive CGI? Would Thundercats, He-Man 2002, Knight Rider? I don't know why he's put Knight Rider.
I don't care, there's my choice right there.
In Knight Rider's case, no, definitely not, because they took expensive CGI and made it fucking transform.
Well, what if they did the entire show with CGI? Would that keep you happy?
No, if they just did the tiny little subtle CGI that they did in the pilot, where instead of going into attack mode, where it turned into something that was drawn by a 5-year-old.
And this is where the guns go and the wings and your jet boosters.
Yeah. Whereas in the pilot, when he went to pursuit mode, when he just drove really fast, it actually, the nanoskin actually grew airfoils and grew a second spoiler. Which, it was subtle, you know? I mean, okay, maybe the spoiler wasn't so subtle, but the fact that it actually grew air intakes to keep it on the ground, that was nice, that was subtle.
Compared to growing machine guns.
Yeah, compared to a giant piece of engine popping out the bonnet. It, you know, yeah.
Maybe not watching that show was a good idea.
Oh no, you have to watch it for the hot Asian bird.
I get enough hot Asian birds from Kamen Rider. Thank you very much.
I thought you were going to say from BustyAsianBeauties.com. See, to be honest, considering I actually did a degree in CG animation, I'm probably not the best person to ask whether CG should be used in shows, because I'm personally a bigger fan of the hand-drawn style.
Yeah.
Because He-Man 2002, I would not touch.
Nah.
It for me, it was a high pinnacle for animation. Thundercats.
It comes down to the basics of compare an episode of Renegades to an episode of Prime. Yeah. Go through, watch X amount of it. Yeah, you'll find that the episode of Renegades has a lot more stuff in the background. It's got a lot more crowd shots because they don't have to render and design 15 million people that can just like sketch it out and draw it and do rough shapes and stuff that look like people.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas CGI, you've got to make everything.
Yeah.
You've got to make everything from scratch. And you end up reusing stuff.
Yeah.
Sometimes in obvious ways, sometimes in not so obvious ways.
I mean, to be completely honest, if it's done right, a la Renegades again, or Gundam Seed, Gundam Seed Destiny, I am fine with using CG within the show.
There are shows that get away with it. Some shows when it's too obvious.
Yeah, I mean, stuff, as I say, like Renegades, you've got the trucks.
Yeah, it's generally the vehicles and like mech suits and stuff, which kind of works.
Gundam, one thing I did love about that was the big ship, the Archangel. That was CG. But none of the actual Gundams were CG.
Yeah.
They were still beautifully hand-drawn. And that to me was perfect. You know, your space colonies, stuff like that, big set pieces which don't need to do a lot of movement. Fair dues, use your CG for that. But for, you know, stuff like the main characters, most of your backdrops and, you know, all that, just leave it with the hand-drawn.
Yeah, it's finding that happy balance to it.
Yeah.
You don't want too much.
I'm not exactly a CG for CG's sake kind of person. I mean, personally, I would have loved to have done a normal animation course, but I have the slight problem of not being able to draw the same thing twice. So
you kind of have to do that over and over and over.
So I went the digital route because I didn't need to, you know, redraw everything. You just build one model and away you go. I mean, don't get me wrong, I do love CG stuff, but I think it should be. I think it should have its place. You know, video games, the movies where they make it, you know, uber realistic but stylized. You know, that sort of stuff. That's where CG should live. I think cartoons and animation, I think it should be left to the what do you call it? I think that should be left to the style of hand drawing.
Yeah.
Because it's a dying art now. I think really there is only your Saturday morning cartoon bunch and anime keeping it alive.
It's a bit of a shame.
It's a shame because it's a gorgeous art style. So yeah, I don't think any of them would benefit from CG.
No, I'm with you on this one.
And
because Thundercats just look so good.
Yeah, and that CG movie they were going to do with Thundercats, I looked at that tester thing and was just kind of, yeah, it's beautifully animated, it looks nice, but it's just not right.
Yeah, it's normal animation. When you look at that Thundercats trailer, and that is, from what they're saying, that is state of the art animation style at the moment, and that looks freaking awesome. Can't wait for that now.
I would just never ever ever approach the CG animation point with Adam, because he will go nuclear. He's really doesn't like it.
Yeah.
If it's done right, he'll accept it, but if it's done sort of for the sake of doing it, he will
CG
go
for
nuts.
CG's sake is not a good thing.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not a massive fan of Ghost in the Shell 2.0.
Yeah.
Because they put those scenes in, it just feels like they've done it for the sake of doing it.
Rather than promoting the story.
Yeah. It's like, right, we're going to CGI this bit where she jumps off the building right at the beginning and cloaks. Right? Why? It's not like they've gone, right, we're going to add this scene in, so we'll CG it. They've just gone, we'll just put this bit of CG.
That's the thing I don't get, because, you know, these people draw the cells and everything, and they're coloured on computer already for the most part. So it's like, you know, why do you have to go and make it 3D?
Yeah, it's
you know?
Meh. Ours is not to wonder why, just to buy and complain about it.
Yeah. And lastly, we have someone from the Nerdsphere. I don't know who it was. Slick or something?
Hey, you be nice.
Only joking.
You be nice so you don't get any Twinkies. Yeah, I knew that would stop you.
You gonna let me have a Twinkie?
Yes. A whole Twinkie.
Oh, Twinkie?
For you to share with the wife.
Oh.
Now you get one each.
You're so nice.
I know.
So, Slick says, now I've seen a good chunk of G1, all of animated, and a few episodes of Beast Wars. I wonder why that is.
I'm a bad influence.
I see how different Transformers can be. Which series is your favourite and which is your least favourite?
Oh,
That's a tough one.
It is and it isn't. I can say right off, my least favourite is G2.
Because that was just a rehash of G1.
Because it was just G1 with the stupid CGI cube on it and it just looked terrible.
It's CG for CG's sake.
Yep, because that's hip and cool and it's what kids want. Favourite series? Favourite. Obviously, Slick knows I love animated.
Yep.
I absolutely do love animated. But I don't know if it's my favourite. I couldn't give you a complete answer. I would say animated edges it because it's got lockdown for a start. Yeah, the character shows up, makes appearance in 3 episodes, and I suddenly go, I love this guy above all else, he's my favourite. And it's a series that made me love a retarded Grimlock. Yeah,
that's a good point.
Which is in itself a hard thing to do. But I do like other stuff. Obviously I really like Beast Wars and I really like Beast Machines. So dark, so very dark.
To be honest, I would have to say that my favourite would be Beast Wars. I mean, I know the first series isn't the greatest.
See, I hope you're listening to this, Slick, because you said you weren't going to go through this, but even Rob agrees with me. Season 1 is a bit meh.
Yeah, the first season is basically just it finding its feet. I mean, don't get me wrong, I do like the first season. I mean, one of my message tones was a quote from the first season. I like you, pussycat. Yes. First episode, in fact. Yeah, the subsequent seasons, it seemed to find its feet. It seemed to get a running theme going through it, which tied everything together. It made Dinobot awesome.
Oh, yes.
And it gave us the likes of the love interest between Black Arachnia and Silverbolt, which was just hilarious.
Sod all else, it gave us Inferno.
And it gave us, the 4th season gave us Depth Charge, who is one of my favourite Transformers of all time. So, yeah, that would have to be my favourite.
Go on then, least favourite.
Least favourite, I think, because I haven't seen all of them, I haven't watched all of Energon or Cybertron or any of that, so I can't really comment, but I'd have to say G2 just pisses me off. Because I remember seeing that on in a TV magazine or something. It was like, when they don't really give you a description of the kids shows and that, and it just said Transformers G2, and I was like, it's a different Transformers cartoon, I've got to watch. And then I sat down and watched it and just went, I'm about.
I know this story.
It's just the old one with some crappy thing. I was so disappointed. So yeah, I'd have to agree with you with that one, because that was just annoying.
That or just... I want to hate them, but I don't in some respects. The whole Unicron trilogy, the main thing I hate about them is the fact that they didn't link them up properly and they just kind of ignored stuff. Like sitting there in Cybertron going, oh, humans don't know about Transformers. Really? Really? Because only a season ago they were building their cities and harvesting Energon with them. What the fuck? That really dicked me, because it was like, what, you're saying this is linked? Well, it's not linked. It blatantly isn't linked. But there's things that I like about them. So, I couldn't go, but I think I said G2 is just...
It was just a cheap way of trying to make some money.
Here's the show that you really like. We've tarnished it with some shit.
Yeah. I'm
starting to feel what people feel about special editions of Star Wars now. Maybe this is the pain. The pain they suffer.
She does also ask, which Transformers character is your all-time favourite and least favourite? And she also adds, if you've already answered this, forgive me.
Well, we'll answer anyway, because I'm saying we are.
Okay. That is a tough one for all-time favourite.
You're just going to say Jetfire anyway.
You see...
Then again, you edge a little bit into Hot Rod territory, don't you?
Yeah, I mean... it's a three-way dance.
Triple threat match.
Yeah, it's a triple... I could even make it a four-way.
Banjo Barrow.
Because, yeah, I love Jetfire. But that is mainly down to getting that toy as a child and absolutely loving it. I didn't know who the character was. I just knew it was a fucking cool plane. And I loved it. I loved it and played with that thing no end. Then there was Grimlock, who is just awesome. I used to love him because he was a T-Rex. And that was awesome. Then once I got to know the character more, I began to like him even more. Hot Rod, because Hot Rod's cool.
Yeah, everybody loves a Hot Rod.
Everyone's got to love Hot Rod. And recently, I've come to like Drift because he's chock full of awesome. I mean, but there's there's things for each one as to why I don't think we should be
qualifiers for.
I feel like I'm jumping on a bandwagon with Hot Rod and Grimlock because they seem to be crowd favourites. Drift, it's kind of like he's a bit too new to be an all-time favourite. And Jetfire, it's the case of, well, I only liked it because of the toy at first.
So, good reason as any.
I really don't know which one out of them. Tell you what, it's like, you pick. I'll just go with what you say.
Hey, she's got me whipped. She doesn't have to have you whipped as well.
I can't decide which one I like more. I like all four of those characters. Put it this way, it would break my heart if they decided to kill any of them off.
Again.
Well,
everybody kind of knows mine. It's Grimlock. It's always going to come down to Grimlock, but Lockdown keeps edging it in. And if they keep putting Lockdown in more media, then it's going to be Lockdown permanently. But let's put it this way. I'm not getting Lockdown tattooed. I'm getting Grimlock. Which is going ahead now. Deposits paid.
Woohoo!
Yeah, so a couple of months at a bit of time. I'll have a Grimmy.
Nice.
Just got to get the design worked out, that's all. But then Slick Eye already kind of knows that. But then everybody else might not.
Least favourite?
Too many to mention.
To be honest, I'm tempted to say Bumblebee at the minute.
Just because I'm sick of the sight of him.
I never had a problem with him in G1.
No, same here. I actually quite liked him in G1. I've got the G1 Action Master. I love
it. To be honest, just recently with the movies and Prime, the Bumblebee comic strip, I'm getting sick of him.
Yeah.
And I really don't like what they're doing with the character.
Nah.
Especially with the not speaking thing in the movie and the Prime cartoon.
Oh, well, it bugs me in Prime because Raph understands him.
Yeah, it's pathetic.
And you're telling me that this race of super advanced robots can't understand him going beep, 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 beep. Yeah, Raph turns around and goes, yeah, he says, can he has a sandwich?
Can he has a sandwich?
Can he has a sandwich? Yeah. Maybe Raph's just making shit up.
Yeah.
Bumblebee sits there beeping away and he goes, right, and he says, Prime goes, Bumblebee says you should give me all the money in the bank account. Really? Is that what he said? Yeah.
Raph's just taking them all for a ride.
He comes back in and he's all pimped out. Yeah, bitches. I'm the only one who can understand him. Beep and whistle and motherfucker.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, any other robot that I really don't like just doesn't hold my attention long enough.
Yeah.
So I'd have to say Bumblebee because he's the one that's pushed in your face so much.
Yeah. It's lessened as of late, but Wheelie, obviously.
I think Wheelie got a reprieve when IDW did the Spotlight.
Yeah, there was a reason for him to talk like that.
Yeah.
I felt sorry for him to a certain extent.
Yeah.
Go figure. I don't know. You know me, I'm very sort of...
You're very forgiving of your robot friends.
I'm very forgiving of robots. I don't know, just generally if something's not being used right, that's when I start to dislike them.
Fair dues.
Like I don't like IDW Prime. I'll fully admit, hand up, I haven't read ongoing.
Mm.
But everything I hear about it is him just going, "Oh, my friend got killed. I'm gonna go hide with the humans so they won't kill us. Oh, I'm not in charge anymore. Hey, this guy sucks. I'm gonna pretend I'm in charge." He's not jumping out at me. He's not. It's not anything great. I'll fully admit it. There you go. Ahead of Prime.
I don't blame you, to be honest. Right,
Any other questions then?
No,
Senor Rob?
that is the last question. We have no more. It's quite nice to have a fair few.
Quite a chunk there, yeah.
Keep them coming.
Well, we've collected in about an hour and a half at this point, give
Wow.
or take. Yeah. I know there was a brief intermission while we sorted something out.
Yeah.
And we just kept recording, so there's a bunch of random jibber jabber.
Jibber jabber.
So, you know what I reckon we should do?
What?
Can we have a little discussion about Transformers Prime?
Okay.
Because it's been a while since we've done it. I really want to talk about the last couple episodes, because I think they're awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought we'd do it on this, since we've got a round table podcasty lock-in variety thing for us to do a little one.
Okay.
So, last couple episodes have been, I forget.
Well,
one was Deus Ex Machina.
Yeah, where they went and found the Energon harvester.
Mm-hmm.
There was the. I enjoyed it that much. I really can't remember.
Oh,
I
the
remember there was
Dingus.
The what?
The Dingus, where it was convoy where they were transporting the Dingus.
Oh yes, that one. Which, oh no, I couldn't figure out that they put it on the train.
Oh no, I know.
Good God. And there was the Drift episode.
It's Wheeljack. It's still Wheeljack. I know, I'm surprised they didn't use them. Come on, we'll have a little nat about each one of those then. So, con job. Introducing Wheeljack, who for once isn't a scientist.
Yeah, I didn't. I'm going to sound like a truck knock monkey here,
Mm-hmm.
but you know, you've got an established character. You know, you're bringing him in to kind of go to say to the kiddies, "Oh look, there's this character. You know, and there might be a toy of him coming out," sort of thing. But then you use the name and everything, so as a little nod to all the original fans, and then you take the fundamental characteristic of that guy
change him.
and throw it out the window.
I think the main argument a lot of people have had with that character is it could have been anybody.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, the twin sword fighting and the taking on tons of Decepticons, that was Drift. You know?
I'm still amazed that they didn't just call him Drift.
Yeah. He should have just been painted white and been called Drift.
Yeah. Take the racing stripe, take the green off, just give him red racing stripes, and call him Drift.
Yeah.
But I just want to say that I'm not down on the character because of that. I like Wheeljack in that respect.
To be honest, I would have liked to have seen a bit of the scientist in him. I could get away with him being a scientist in the Wreckers, because hell, they got Perceptor.
Hell, there's another thing. Wheeljack and Bulkhead Wreckers.
Yeah.
Come on.
I mean, let's face it. Most of Wheeljack's experiments blew up anyway, so that would make him a perfect fit for the Wreckers.
It's no retarded Wheeljack moments. Hey Prime, I made a machine that shoots gumballs at you. Really? No, it shoots explosives.
Yeah.
Into your face.
But,
when it's not on.
Bulkhead as a Wrecker, you can really see that.
He just wrecks things anyway.
I actually quite like the idea of Bulkhead being a Wrecker. That was quite cool.
Well, I was watching it with Slick, because we just found it on YouTube, and we were watching it in blah blah, and she was nattering, we were watching it, talking away a little bit, and then he said, "Oh, we were in the Wreckers," and I think my exact words were, "They were in the Wreckers."
As I say, I did quite like the episode. I like the story behind it. It annoyed me what they were doing with the characters. Because it seemed like... it basically seemed like the whole... what's his face?
I cut it down, mate.
The cliff jumper scenario. Well, let's just find a name from the old things and we'll just throw it in.
And in fairness, Cliffjumper is very much like Cliffjumper was.
Yeah,
He wants to get in a fight, he doesn't care.
Yeah, Cliffjumper was like that, but it was a case of that bot could have been anyone. They just used the Cliffjumper name to put a bit of shock value into the fact that he died.
Didn't it work, that?
Eh?
Did it not work, that?
Not in shock value. In kind of annoyed value.
Just don't know because you didn't get to hit Dwayne every week.
Wouldn't you be?
No, I fucking like him, do I? See. Anyway, should we move on to the next one then?
Yeah.
So it was Convoy. First thing worth mentioning about this episode, Clancy Brown. The motherfucking Kurgan! Yes.
Who did he play?
It was the dude in the helicopter?
Was
Silas, yeah?
No way. I didn't pick
Come
that up.
on, man. Freaking DC loving guy like yourself. It's his Lex Luthor voice.
Huh.
From Justice League and Superman and whatnot.
Nice. I did not realise that.
You see. But I really like this episode. I don't know where I stand on the thing being called the Dingus. And if that's been done on purpose or if that's been done for comedy value. But either way, I don't kind of care. Good episode, and is hopefully means we're going to get some form of human interaction. I know a lot of people have been touting the idea, and hopefully this will happen, of a third faction.
Yeah.
Autobots, Decepticons, mech. You know, not just going, oh, we're the Decepticons, if you want our technology, you must do as I say, minions of mech. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Just actually having mech actually being a viable third faction.
Oh, that would be awesome.
That would be quite cool. Unfortunately, I don't think they'll do anything like that, because I'm really not rating the show at the minute. I mean, that episode, I really like the premise of it. It's kind of like, we've got this really unstable thing, we need the Autobots to...
No, that was something I liked as well, that they didn't just sort of go, yeah, we've got this thing, I need to take it somewhere. They actually went, you can't take it in the ground bridge. That could potentially make it worse if you can kill everybody.
Yeah.
I thought that was great.
That was nice.
Because the first thing that came to my head was, just ground bridge the sucker. Oh no! Oh, that's a bad thing. I've killed everybody.
Yeah, that was cool. I did like the way they had a proper convoy going. You had Bumblebee on point and Bulkhead sort of bringing up the rear and that. It's just that bit where they try and break into Prime's trailer and RC comes flying out
and kills people.
She doesn't kill them. You see them getting out. Yeah.
They explode. You see people come out of the other one. She freaking killed them.
Nice.
Psycho bitch. I love it.
But yeah, it's the fact that the guy just looks down and goes, "They're not civilians."
Well, that was something I liked about that episode as well. The premise of don't transform unless you have to.
Yeah.
Really do. You need to keep this disguise. But the entire time, they're like, hey, they look like civilian drivers. Okay, so they're well-trained drivers in civilian vehicles. Only then at the end was it like, oh, holy crap, they're giant robots. And even then, he didn't go, oh, holy crap. He went, giant robots.
Yeah.
I'd heard these might have been kicking around. Interesting.
Yeah, he's just kind of like, you're a very well-informed man.
Also, Agent Fowler is awesome.
Yeah.
He's really growing on me.
He is quite cool.
Damn Decepticons shut me down. Are you sure it's Decepticons? Cause it's Decepticons. What else could it be? Oh no, it's actually serious.
I did think it was just a bit kind of spoon-fed, the whole when they went into the tunnel with the train, and then they closed one end of the tunnel. And it's just kind of like the guy's going, that's a bad move. And then you actually see Bumblebee get on the train.
Yeah, I think...
And it's just kind of like, when it comes out the other end, you're all kind of like, oh no, they're going to get it.
Oh, I wonder where it might be. If they just had them going in, and I know other people have said it, if they just had it going in, Bulkhead blowing the bridge, blowing the cave, going in, then come back out again.
Yeah.
It would just be a happy coincidence that the train was there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that's all. Maybe in the back of your head you're probably going, I wonder if they switched it. But It was just so obvious. Jumping on, knock, knock, hello? Oh, hello. Probably just like randomly tapping on doors in case somebody's in there. Hello. Oh, hello, there's somebody in here. First time this week. Ooh. Yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of pathetic.
But, yeah, Fowler kicking some ass. He possibly killed that dude as well, going that speed and hitting a tree.
He's definitely not going to be a pretty boy anymore.
Fatality! I did actually hear one point that was interesting. The cars, obviously, it's got a bit of a Fast and Furious feel to it, that opening bit with the three cars. But I can't comment on this personally because I've never seen it, but apparently those cars, because they were green, kind of look like Ben 10's car.
They did have a slight resemblance to it, but it's
I think it's been more coincidental than anything.
It's a different car.
Because I know some people were saying about it's a bit of a Cartoon Network.
It's a different sort of car he has, because I think it's more of a muscle car.
I think you're right, but I don't know.
It's more of a Dodge Charger sort of look to it. If I remember rightly.
But then
the other half loves that show.
You boys.
And
Prime got knocked the fuck out with a tree.
Yeah. That was quite bizarre.
Wang!
Although I did love the idea of Miko thinking that she scared off the guys with the helicopter when she was holding the fire axe.
See, that's something that I know has been raised on other podcasts. They keep doing it. I think it's awesome. Miko always seems to end up with an axe. Jack always seems to end up with a fire extinguisher.
Yeah.
A pattern she forms.
I'd still, I wish for a bit, even though the series isn't sort of, making me go woot woot every week that there's a new one, or every 3 weeks when there's a new one.
Well, it is every week, but then I've taken a 3-week break.
Yeah.
Let Renegades catch up again.
But when you first met her and she did This Is a Ballad I Wrote, it's called My Fist, Your Face. I love that.
Is it wrong that I love Miko? I think she's awesome.
As long as you only love her in a she's awesome way.
I want to adopt her and raise her as my own little metal baby.
Yeah, that's okay. If it was any other way, I would make you leave my house right now.
No, it's fine. You have no need to worry. There is only one small Asian woman I would sit on my name for chocolate. Can't ride a decade. Watch it. Last name is very cute. Okay. I don't know why I'm whispering. Slick knows this. Slick has accepted this fact.
And the last one was the
Deus Ex Machina. All I'm going to say is Adam Baldwin, typecast. What is he? He's a gruff dude that likes guns and fighting. Right. He's been on at least 2 TV shows and now an animated series. And you know what? I couldn't care less. I fucking love it. I really like that one. I think Deus Ex Machina has possibly been one of the better episodes.
Yes, it definitely has.
Starscream killing random minions.
Yeah, I mean to be honest, for me, the Decepticons felt more of a threat in that episode than any other episode. Because I know it sounds silly considering they've had hundreds of drones running at people, and you've had various other sort of people dug up and attacking people, but it's just that one. It was it was the characterization. I think you actually got a bit more out of it. Starscream, when he does that, when he looks at can't remember his name. Knockout when he first comes up and he just kind of goes, you're one of those. I've never understood why any self-respecting Decepticon would choose an automobile. And it's
because I like the way it looks.
I love the way radials fit.
I love that. I know there's a lot of people have been throwing around the idea that he's evil Trax because he loves his own image and all that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, it's the fact that he pulled up next to Optimus Prime and complimented his wheel trims.
See, part of me was just like, is he just like mocking him to get him to react, or is he coming on to him?
No, the Decepticons actually felt like a bit of a threat at that point. I mean, when Starscream got hold of the Energon harvester and just harvested the energy out of one of his own troops.
Well, this is what bugs me, right? With the Eradicons, I'm beginning to think they're not just drones.
Yeah.
That guy was just like, what? You couldn't vocalise it, but you know he was shotting himself.
Yeah.
I don't know where they're going with this. I want to know if they're actually... If they're live, then Starscream's fucked up in the head.
And then you had... the one thing I didn't particularly like was the way that they were portraying Miko as, being cool for, basically just not giving a crap or anything like that.
Yeah, kids, don't do your homework. A giant robot will take you to Greece.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, another giant robot may attempt to kill you.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's just a kids' show and everything, but and shit, didn't they try and teach us lessons in that? In the ones we used to watch.
Yeah, but it's a different place now. They're all raised by the internet, not TV.
Yeah. It's yeah. I mean, I still love the character of Miko. It's just, you kind of wish that she'd learn a lesson.
Yeah. It's hell. You know what? I'm just going to go back to Adam Baldwin and break down. I think he's awesome. That bit where he first was like, "Oh, a pet. Could you catch?"
I love the fact that there was history between him and Bulkhead as well.
Well, this is something I noticed on one of the other podcasts I listened to. It seems like Bulkhead's starting to know everybody.
Yeah. Well, I think Bulkhead's sort of stealing the limelight.
It feels like it at the moment. It's the Bulkhead show starring Team Prime.
Which, I don't particularly mind because it means that Bumblebee's not in the limelight. And I must admit, I do like the Bulkhead character. I liked him in Animated. I thought he was great. And I like the fact that he's transitioned into this one. I would like to see a bit more on RC.
And a bit more Ratchet. That's what I need.
And a bit more Ratchet as well.
More Coombs!
We definitely need a bit more Ratchet.
Who's gaining a bit of a tagline, isn't he? Bulkhead, I needed that.
Yeah.
But in varying degrees of angriness.
Well, as you say, it's becoming the Bulkhead show, and Bulkhead's thing is that he breaks things. So, and who's the person that
has to fix them?
Yeah, well, who's the person who's bound to who's becoming almost the cup of Transformers?
It's funny how Ratchet is suddenly evolving into the crotchety old geezer of the series. All of Transformers in general, be it started on Animated, now it's gone on to... Man, is it wrong that I like that version of it?
No, it's just as long as everyone realises that Cup is the better grumpy old man.
WrestleMania 2013, Grump Off! Starring Ratchet and Cup. When I was a young'un, my God.
What do you mean when you were a young'un? When you were a young'un, I was still strangling Decepticons.
You do realise that's bad for your processor.
Shut up.
That'd be awesome.
Shut up, kid. I used to call him kid all the time. Kid, I'm only 2 years older than you. Man alive.
That'd be awesome.
Anyway, moving back to the thing, I really like the end of that fight sequence at the end of it, where it's just like, fight, nah, drive.
Yeah, that was brilliant. That was a proper, he
who fights then runs away. Yeah,
lives to fight another day.
It gave me a good feeling because I was starting to get paranoid that they were going to kill him off.
Yeah, I did have, when that first Thunderwing came out and they sort of killed him off, I was like, ugh, this is going to be the guest spot who gets killed every episode. Yeah. No, I like the fact that those two survived and just drove off.
It was a good move, and I really hope they do some more with them because I really like those. I think those two are a good set of characters.
Really good characters, yeah.
It's just an excuse for me to see more Adam Baldwin growling and stuff.
Which is always good. The one thing I really want them to change is the opening sequence.
Really?
Yeah. The opening sequence for me, I mean, it's got some really nice visuals in it. It's just, for me, the music brings it down.
Yeah, it's the opening sequence. I'm not.
Well, it's for me. It's a case of. I mean, I've been watching 3 cartoon series at the minute. I'm watching Prime, G.I. Joe Renegades, and Young Justice. G.I. Joe Renegades, not much of a music. You kind of get the impactful kind of
blurb
at the beginning, and then it goes to the, A-Team voiceover.
By David Kay.
Which works, It works for the series. It gets you kind of like, ooh, what's coming next? Sort of thing. Young Justice, it kind of like, it's got a nice sort of upbeat, high tempo, get you jazzed for the episode kind of thing. Just quickly does your bum, 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 bum for the characters, bum for the layout, and you get a couple of shots of what's going to happen in that episode. And then, dump, you're into the episode, and you're all kind of hyped up for it. For me, Prime, you get shown your sort of precursor to the episode, then you get the music, and for me, the music just kind of saps my will to watch the episode. The music's just so down and boring. I just want something a bit more. I know they're trying to follow the orchestral way that everything's going, but it's just like, for God's sake, make it upbeat. Make me want to watch the rest of the episode.
You want upbeat? I'll show you the opening. You open titles, the camera hose. There's upbeat. God damn!
I mean, it's like I was watching X-Men Evolution. I watched an episode of that again the other day, and it's just kind of like, that music is just awesome. No matter what the episode's like, you always know you're going to enjoy the theme song at least. It was great. And it's just, I miss that, Transformers, Beast Wars, G1, even Beast Machines, they had this impactful music that got you jazzed. You really wanted to just get into the episode after listening to the music. And Prime for me is just, it's kind of like...
It does feel like it's slightly lacking.
Just like, no, for God's sake, please.
To me, it feels like a little bit like it goes on a bit too long. I always feel once they've done that whole thing of them driving forward, it just go Transformers Prime Measure episode.
Yeah.
But,
and you see that, even that bit with where you see the Decepticons going and Megatron and Prime got to sort of welt each other. There's no impact to it. There's no up-tempo. It's just kind of the same kind of... I'm not getting paid enough to put some soul in this music. Wow. I mean, Transformers, G1, I loved just as a kid. Listening to the music, singing along.
Who didn't?
Yeah. Beast Wars, Beast Machines, I could listen to the music every episode. I mean, I could watch 10 episodes in a row, and I'd never feel the need to skip the opening segment. Yeah. I'm watching one episode of Prime and I have to skip the title sequence. Wow. That's how much I hate it.
Well, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. I think that'll do for a little talk about Prime, unless you've got anything else you want to say, Rob?
On the whole, I do think the episodes are getting better, and I do think it's showing a lot more promise. So I'm going to keep watching it. But
good.
As I say, it's not my favourite out of the things I'm watching at the minute.
Yeah.
I'm still liking Renegades a hell of a lot better, and I'm still liking
Crimson Twins.
That was so good.
Crimson Twins.
And I'm liking Young Justice a lot as well. So they're my favourites at the minute.
Well, there we go then, ladies and gentlemen. There's our little mini catch-up on Prime.
And my rant.
Yep. Rob doesn't like it that much. I enjoy it. More Adam Baldwin, please.
Yes, just make the entire show about him.
Yes. Though there is something I want to mention. I've not seen this myself, but I was listening to another podcast today, and they mentioned the fact that if you watch the episode of Prime again, and if you keep an eye on Knockout's wheels on his shoulders, when he moves, they start rolling.
That's quite cool.
They're freewheeling in there. That's kind of cool. I need to watch this again just to just confirm it myself. But I have it on good authority that is the case, and if that's just awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's just going. Well, I can make these spin. It wouldn't really take too much work. Spin. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. You've learned something new today. Well, I think we should wrap that up then.
We should.
Whole thing. I've got a certain Japanese TV series to show a certain somebody.
Oh, I wonder who that could be. Should we set a homebrew? Or should we give them a week off?
Set a homebrew.
I did have one, but then we started talking and I forgot.
Oh.
So I'm going to try and come up with one on the spot.
Oh. Top 5 back to the 80s moments. No, somebody else did that.
Okay, if you could be a Transformer, I don't know if we've already done this one. I don't think we have. If you could be a Transformer, you don't have to be an actual character that's out there already. What would you transform into and why?
Ooh.
What would your alt mode be? What faction would you be affiliated with? And why, please? We wish to know your workings out.
There you go.
What would you be?
I don't know. I would probably just be a tank, because then you just sit there and roll along, not going too fast, just like me. Taking a bit of damage, just like me. and just complaining about stuff, just like me. That's it, I'd be one of those Sonic Assault tanks when they've got the big speakers on for like sieges, because then everybody could hear me complain and bitch about shit. Fuck! I'm gonna work all day again!
And what faction would you be?
Neither. Mercenary for hire, baby.
As your old Sig used to say.
Hey.
Why pick a side when you can get paid? For me, I think I would have to go for a fighter jet.
You would be the bastard child of Jetfire and Hot Rod. You would be a fighter jet that can do science while in a red paint job with flames going, "Ooh, I'm crazy!"
Yeah, okay, I'll go for that.
There you go. See, I just made up a new Transformer, and he is called Rob.
And I would somehow bribe my way into the Dinobots. I'd be an Autobot, but I wouldn't play fair. I'd get on Grimlock's good side by blowing something up that was really big.
That's a good way to go. Should we leave it there then? Should we wrap it up?
We shall. Get yourselves over to the forum. www.oldoilhouse.co.uk. Let us know what you think. Give us questions.
Give us homebrew, give us questions. Freaking
Grind your
gears. Hell, just get on the forum and tell us you hate us if you hate us that much.
Yeah, just as long as you sign up.
Dear old our house, I hate you. Signed, guest number 5.
Son of a bitch! Yeah, so we'll leave it at that and look out for one of the homebrews that was mentioned today getting a DVD cover. There is one of those that I really liked, and I did say I'd do a DVD cover for my favourite.
Yeah, because you got inspired enough.
Yeah, it may take a couple of weeks to get it done and put up, but it will get done.
Like all things, it takes time.
It does. Being this good takes time.
Man, I'm so pretty.
God, I am just so pretty.
It's hard being this awesome. Goddamn hard being so awesome.
But I'm not as awesome as Drift.
Nah,
I've only got maybe 67% awesomeness.
you get a point.
And he's 110% awesomeness.
His mere existence lowers your percentage.
Yeah.
Because he absorbs it.
Yeah, it does. It's quite disturbing. I do feel like I lose awesome percentages by the day.
Especially if you're closer to him as well, because he just sucks it out of you.
Yeah.
Should we leave these people alone then?
I'm gonna suggest that I take you home now, just so I can be further away from my Drift toy, so my awesomeness goes back up a little bit.
Nah, you gotta take it in the cannon. You're gonna carry him everywhere in your pocket. He's a drifto in your pocket.
Drifto!
In the pocket.
Okay. I think we end it there.
Yeah. Bye, everybody.
Bye!
You have been listening to the Old Oil